Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Praise be to Allah.
A lot of Christians today blindly follow tradition and seem to simply assume it is wholly authentic and interpret everything from there, when rather it should be the opposite. The so-called apostolic Christians specifically are known for accusing Muslims for being hyper-skeptical of their tradition and expect us to simply take their claims at face value. This following excerpt is a short example of what modern scholarship has to say on Mark, discussing the earliest external and internal evidences. The goal of this excerpt is to get the viewer to ponder and to research, and each individual point will be expanded upon in future videos. The following is an excerpt from the Gospel on the Margins. Papias' main source was the elder John, a figure who remains as elusive as ever. It is unlikely that he was a personal disciple of Jesus. He was probably a second-generation charismatic leader in Asia Minor. We have no clue about the elder's connections outside Asia Minor, or his general reliability. We know that Papias naively gave credence to local traditions about an original Hebrew or Aramaic edition of Matthew, and other marvels. If the foundation laid by Papias is rotten, how can we trust what subsequent writers build upon it? The internal evidence is no better. It would help if the evangelist stated that Peter was a vital informant, who began with a dedication to Peter. Undoubtedly, Mark testifies to Peter's stature in early Christian memory, and some of the material may have been genuinely originated with Peter, or perhaps with other eyewitnesses for that matter. But Mark equally resists the veneration of the 12. For this reason, Peter frequently plays the part of the ignoramus in Mark's drama, which militates against his having a quintessential role in this gospel composition. The odds of a connection with Paul are higher. Several points from the focus on Jesus' death to the noun could be congenial to a later Paulinist, and there are other references to a co-worker named Mark in Paul's epistles. On the other hand, the huge variances from Paul make the authorship of a direct co-worker of Paul less likely, just as the differences of Luke, Acts, from the Pauline epistles sway many critical scholars against Lucan authorship. The evidence is insufficient to ascribe the gospel to an associate of Peter or Paul. This is by no means a fringe atheist hyperskeptic, or some traditionalist Christians like to accuse us of being. This is a scholar who is familiar with modern critical and conservative scholarship. Look at Markan, Hengel, etc., whom he discusses earlier in the book, and discusses each in detail. If certain points seem to be out of place or not strong, we invite you to read the book or the relevant sections and judge for yourself.
وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.